Before I get into this video fully and about the subject that I want to talk about, I feel like it needs a bit of background, and I also just want to say and admit to say how fucking lucky I am to have lived in a country and been born in a country like Australia. Because I feel like there's a lot of people in the Western world these days that just make it out like they are living in the worst place in the world, that their lives are shit, and that, you know, they're oppressed, or that they're this, or that, you know, they have it the worst off than anyone else in history, or the worse off than anyone else in the world. But truly, if you really think about it, we honestly don't. Like, if us living in a Western society like Australia, America, a lot of countries in Europe, or any other country that would be deemed westernized, or even some Asian countries like, you know, Japan and South Korea, that are actually, you know, very safe countries and great countries to live in and to visit as well. And that can't be said for the country of Haiti. I think it's Haiti. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. I might be absolutely fucking butchering it, because my pronunciation of things that I don't know, I'm going to admit right now, is terrible. Is absolutely fucking terrible. But the same can't be said for the country of Haiti. And for a little bit of background, like I said, they have been involved. The whole country has been involved in a gang war. And I didn't know this. I didn't know that it was been going on for this long. But there has been a gang war that has been going on since the 24th of May in 2020, when this really all started to kick off. And this gang war has escalated in the past month, where earlier in March, by the time you're watching this video, it might be April already, but early in March, the country was pretty much taken over by gangs. And even the president or prime minister itself, he has pretty much fled the country. And I was also reading before that supposedly at some point when this all conflict like ends, or even soon, even maybe before this whole entire conflict ends, is that he has a potential to actually resign from his position. That's how bad the country's getting out of hand, and they're starting to ask for, you know, help from other countries as well. I think there was, like, you know, a time where they actually asked for Kenya's help. And one of the biggest gangs is being run by this guy right here. Now, this guy, his name is Jimmy Chorizo. I've definitely 100% fucking butchered that name and not pronounced it right. But he is running one of the biggest gangs that is involved in this entire gang war in Haiti, and his nickname is Barbecue. Which, I mean, I'm still on the fence of whether that's a badass name or a really stupid name. Like, my brain, since I heard that name Barbecue, yeah, I'm trying to wrap my head around whether that's a good nickname or a terrible nickname. I mean, maybe someone else can come to the decision for me, because I'm really stuck in the middle for this. But as this whole entire war has been going on, there was this YouTuber named YourFellowArab. Now, he has made a lot of content in the past where he has gone into dangerous countries. Like, I went onto his YouTube channel and I sorted by most popular. And as you can see right here, because I put it up on the screen now, is some of his most popular videos is him going into these dangerous countries. So he spent a day with the Brazil's most dangerous gang. And if you don't know, Brazil is an extremely dangerous country. Like, the favelas of Brazil, yeah, you don't want to step in there. If you don't know someone in there that can protect you, you will most likely get kidnapped and killed. He spent time with the Mexican cartel, South Africa's underground weed trade, and also like a kingpin in the Middle East. So this guy has done a lot of these dangerous trips. And obviously, to keep on brand and to keep these videos coming, is that he wanted to interview the leader of this entire gang war, Mr. fucking Barbecue himself. So he went off into Haiti to go and interview this guy, and during some time, he has been unfortunately kidnapped and is now being held for ransom. So this tweet was put out just a day ago by, I have a feeling, I'm not exactly sure who this is, because I'm not really familiar that much with Arab or any of his people that he makes content with, or any of his friends, but I have a feeling that this is one of his friends. And apparently for like 2 weeks now, he has been kidnapped by this gang that he wanted to interview. The ransom for him is $600,000. So they are looking to hold him for ransom. I think it's him and also someone that he was possibly with, whether it's a crew member or one of his friends that travels with him to be able to make these videos. But him and someone else is being captured. I saw this going around on Twitter as well. I'm not 100% sure if this itself is true, but I saw this, that according to them, Addison, so that's Arab's real name, was on his way back from Cape Haiti with his Haitian colleague Sakura Sean, Addison Pierre Malouf, which is what Arab's full name is, went to Dalmos 6 to conduct an interview with Barbecue himself. However, another guy named Lanmo 100 Jo, that's a wild ass name, a member of the same criminal group as Barbecue, seized the pair and is now demanding a ransom of 600,000 USD. Man, I just want to say, first of all, before I get into my little conspiracy theory of why I think that there's two situations of what actually might have happened, whether it's true or not. I just want to say that if this is true, I fucking have prayers out to this man. I hope that this guy comes home safely and that, they aren't torturing him in any way. And if they are keeping him, they are keeping him ransom for safely, and that he does come back alive. Because this has happened multiple times where countries have held people for ransom, and a lot of the times they actually don't come back, as they went into that. I can't remember exactly what country it was or what situation it was, but I remember a while ago now, is that some dude was being held by another country. I think it was an Asian country. I think it might have been an Australian citizen. And he got tortured and he got severe mental issues. I think they did some sort of experiments on him. And when he came back, he was pretty much disabled. When they gave him back and let him go from his captive, he was pretty much disabled. So I do not wish this upon this man whatsoever, and I do hope he comes back safely. There is also a chance that I feel like this could also be just a bit of a miscommunication, because I don't know if anyone remembers this from last year, but there was this guy, Lord Miles, who he went into the Middle East, and he went to go, I don't know exactly what he went to the Middle East for. I don't know if he himself was trying to interview anyone in the Taliban, or was just there to just see what everything was about, and he was supposedly captured by the Taliban, and everyone came out and said this guy's been captured by the Taliban, he's being held in custody. But then once he was released, he actually came out and said that for those 8 months that he was there, he wasn't necessarily being held as a prisoner, because the Taliban, if you're just a civilian and you're just coming over to their country, they will hold you there, but they won't necessarily treat you as a prisoner or, as someone who could be a threat to them. The only people that they keep like that is if you're involved somehow in the government. So whether you're an FBI agent or someone in the army or whatever it may be, if you're linked to the government, then they will hold you as a prisoner. But I remember I was reading about Lord Miles' story, and I was going through his tweets about his stay, and pretty much he said that they were treating me nicely, and that they were giving him food. He had a lot of fun with them. They weren't really treating him as a necessary prisoner. They were obviously somewhat skeptical of him, but they didn't treat him and they didn't threaten him in any way possible. So that could be what's going on with Arab. But the thing that probably doesn't make this true is the fact that he's being held for ransom for a certain amount of money. When Lord Miles got captured, at least from what I know, he wasn't really held for any money. There was no official ransom out for him. And like I said, is that I've only seen all of this go around on Twitter, and whether he's actually being held for ransom or that someone has made that up is not 100% sure yet. Like I said, I've seen a whole lot of things on Twitter, but there's nothing that's really 100% confirming it. His friends have said that he has been kidnapped, but like I said, it could be a miscommunication between the party that has sent out the note that he has been kidnapped, or it could have also been a miscommunication between this other criminal member, because as supposedly is that Arab had a safe passage into Haiti, and that he was granted access to have an interview with Barbecue. So maybe that this other gang member didn't actually know about this interview and saw Arab as a threat and decided to capture him. And maybe they've cleared up that miscommunication and that soon he will be set free, which I hope is true. To me, I hope that one right there is the truth out of all of it. I hope that it is just some miscommunication between gang members, because, they are gang members. I mean, we can't really give them that much credit. I mean, they did take over a whole country, but I still don't expect their communication skills to be fucking top tier. So I hope that that's all that has come between them, and that this guy gets let free. Because to be honest, I really want to fucking see this video now. If this dude gets let free, and I really hope that he does, I really hope that he comes out safely, I'm looking forward to this interview. I hope the interview still goes through, or even just to hear the story about how he was captured and what happened to him and what went on. And I hope that he does come home safely. But man, all prayers out to this guy. I'll definitely probably keep updated on this if like anything major happens. Maybe if he just gets released and like there's not really too much info about it, I won't make a video about it. But if like more info comes out and it is like, you know, a massive amount of info, I'll definitely make a video about it. But man, yeah, this is really interesting. I'd like to hear what you guys think about this down below, but that's it from me. Peace out.